Oh my God, can't even cope.
Welcome back to Can't Even Cope with me, Kate motherfucking Teresa. I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. I am here with my friend Ruby again. Hi, Ruby.
Hello, thanks for having me again.
You're so welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk today about a topic that we've both experienced, we've lived and breathed it, we've overcome it together, or not together, but we've overcome it. And
overcoming it.
Still overcoming it, and learning as we go. But we just want to talk about bullying today because I think it's such a massive thing, isn't it?
Huge. And I did do a bit of research on this matter because I wanted to be informed. So basically, because I think teen suicide, etc., goes hand in hand with bullying. So 654 people died from suicide last year, which is the highest number ever recorded since recordings began. Wow. And because now we've got things like, social media, 30% of New Zealand teenagers are being cyberbullied, and that's just the ones that were put on record. We know it's higher than that.
Yeah, it's so intense, and I
bullying
feel like
sucks.
It absolutely sucks. And I just want to point this out about social media as well, because what I've learned, I run a business on social media. What I've learned is that you literally see like 5% of people's lives, and it's not real. It's not reality. And so many people end up like living in this virtual world that isn't even reality, and then they end up comparing themselves to everyone else and thinking like they've got their shit together, they have this perfect relationship, this perfect life, like what am I doing wrong? Like, you're not doing anything fucking wrong. Those people don't have their shit together. No one has their shit together. They have a good camera
with the right filter.
Good filters, good Photoshop, and they're posting literally 5% of their lives, if that.
Can I tell you what I hate? I hate it when people post those pictures. It's just a selfie, and not about selfie. And they always post like an inspirational quote, underneath the selfie. And sometimes I see them and I'm like, oh my God, they really have their life together.
Yeah.
And then I see them at the pub or something. I'm like, oh no, my bad.
Yeah. Totally. I'm so guilty of it. I mean, not so much.
No, but they're your quotes. They're your specific sayings. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I just talk about my legit experiences.
Yeah.
Instead of like, that is so true. Okay, let's go back to the beginning, because I think it's so important to like know that if you look back over your lifespan and you have a look at like the times that you can remember in your life that really affected you or really hurt you, you can look back and go like, my past doesn't define me. Like, you are not your past, and the things that happened to you for example, we're talking about bullying, like the people that were mean to you, that is not a reflection of who you are at all. And in fact, and I know that we talked about this another time, but hurt people, and it's no excuse to be a fucking bully. Like, I think bullies are horrible.
Accept it.
I don't accept it. It's not an excuse, but if you look at it from the perspective of that, like, hurt people, then you can look at it like, it's not me, it's them. Like, I'm not, like, what they're saying about me is not true. It's just a reflection of whatever the fuck they're going through, and they're projecting it onto you. Doesn't make it okay, but if you look at it from that perspective, it's like, well, actually, I'm fine, and like, know your own fucking worth, right? Like, know your own worth.
It takes a while too. So I think, as someone who's in my higher 30s, I don't think I really understood that until I hit my 30s. Do you know what I mean? My
Absolutely.
Teenage years, I was very insecure. My 20s, you're sort of just becoming who you are, and in your 30s, you're like, fuck everyone. I'll do what I want.
Yeah, and I think
but I wish. My mum said to me, you'll wish that you knew what you knew in your 30s when you're in your 20s. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I could go back to some situations, to those people that were being mean, I'd just be like, fuck you.
I know.
I just wouldn't care.
I know. It's so crazy. Like, life.
Let's tell a couple of our favourite bullying stories. Because I think, bullying can happen from primary to school all through to adulthood, because I've had it happen even now a couple of times. And I know for yours started and around when you're about 13, 14.
Even younger.
Even younger. I can't remember it. I probably blocked it out from the trauma. But...
Yeah. Okay. So primary school actually was when I remember first being bullied and feeling like an absolute.
Is that in New Zealand? Because I know that you were born
in New Zealand.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know, born in South Africa, moved to New Zealand when I was 8 years old. went straight to school, didn't know anyone, and then just pretty much spent my whole primary, intermediate, high school years feeling like an absolute fucking loser, and having no self-worth. And you know, I just think as well, like, everyone has to go through their journeys, and no one's walked your journey like you have. So just own that, and just like know that you're so unique, and that, like, as cliche as it sounds, like, we are who we are because of what we've been through. So it's just, I think it's important to be grateful as well. But okay, so in primary, the first thing that I can remember is that people used to run away from me because I had tuna sandwiches, okay? Because I had fucking tuna fish in my sandwiches. And even now, like, I want to say how this has impacted me, and I was thinking about this the other day. Even now, if I have tuna, I'm like, oh, I hope people aren't like, whoa, she's a fucking weirdo.
To be fair, as a parent, I don't think I would make my young child tuna sandwiches just because of the smell. You know what kids are like. I just don't think I'd do it.
No, I know. And I definitely have an issue.
Is it a South African thing?
I don't think so. I know heaps of people that like it.
I love tuna.
I think it's good. Anyway, that was one of the smaller things. But okay, there was this other situation, and you know the monkey bars and the like solid monkey bars. These ones at the playground at primary were like metal, so they were like hanging off chains, so they were like loose and flappy. Okay, loose and flappy monkey bars.
I've got it in my mind.
You've got an image of loose and flappy. Amazing. Okay, so
I've lived it. Sorry.
Okay. So I'm on one side and there's a couple of girls on the other side, and they're encouraging me, Kate, you can absolutely jump to the fourth monkey bar. Like, I reckon you could do it if you just jumped as hard as you can. You're going to reach out and you're going to catch that. So I'm like, okay, cool. These people believe in me. Awesome. I'm going to jump to the fourth fucking monkey bar. So I jump, and as I go to grab onto the monkey bar, they pull on the other side. So the monkey bar goes up. I obviously am not going to catch it, and I land flat on my fucking face on the ground, like face. Yeah, absolutely. And like, I just felt like such a loser. And I feel like what happened was, because that was just one of the situations, or two of the situations that happened over the years, is that, like, and you and me have talked about this before, like, we put up with people's behaviors for so long that we didn't deserve because we wanted to be liked and accepted. Right.
But do you know what I was thinking about this, like popular girls and stuff like that. I was not popular at school. I was thinking the other day, and I just thought, how stressful to be the popular person and have to keep up this facade of being popular. And I just thought, that's exhausting anyway. I'd rather just be the nerd in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I see it all the time on social media now. Like, okay, I love Kylie Jenner, for example. She is so fucking hot. But
I didn't mean to pull that face in, Karen.
That's okay. She has, I feel like she's a prime example of, like, she's created this image for herself of absolute perfection. Imagine how hard it would be. Like, imagine how hard it must be to keep up with that image. Like, I just think it must be so fucking tiring.
And then they snap a picture of her, like, just normal walking down the street, and they're like, what's wrong with Kylie Jenner's face?
I'm like, she's a human being.
Makeup, man.
She's a human being. Like,
that's the bar for ugly. I'm in trouble.
It's so crazy though, and like, I will literally go on my social media, no makeup, in the morning, haven't done my hair, like looking like an absolute bag of trash, and and I don't care, because I don't want to be this fake person. Like, I want people to know this.
They just put up a picture yesterday, just while we're celebrity talking.
Yeah.
I can't remember the singer's name, but her partner is Shawn Mendes, and he goes out with that lady that sings Havana, na na na, and she's put on a little bit of weight. Still looks like banging.
Yeah.
But they put up this picture of them, and they're like, "Look how much weight she's put on." And I'm like, so we're all preaching body positivity.
Yeah.
We're all saying everybody is beautiful, and she puts on like, nothing, and all of a sudden we're just blasting it, and I'm just, how stressful.
It is so stressful. It must be so stressful being famous, right?
Yeah, you gotta have a thick skin, man.
Yeah, totally. And that's another thing. Okay, I feel like we're on the topic of things we don't like, but anyway, one of the things I don't like is when there's women on social media and they preach women empowerment and women supporting women, yet you tell me that story, because
I've just had a baby. She's about 4 months, but when I was pregnant, you're very bored, you can't do anything, your feet are swollen. And so I just used to sit down and just make a couple TikToks for fun. I mean, like I'm 30. Really my demographic, but who cares, it's fun. And I just put up this harmless video. It was nothing, it was just me like scratching my tummy when I was pregnant. And I got this one comment and I jumped on and it said, why don't you get some Botox for those desert creases in your forehead? I was like,
it blows my mind.
And so obviously I'm already a little insecure about that anyway, because you know you worry about your wrinkles when you get a bit older. And so I jumped onto her page, as you do. You obsess. I'm an obsessive person. I obsess about things.
We all do it.
Jumped onto the TikTok, and it was, I mean, she was gorgeous. She was plus size. Her whole page was about body positivity. Like that was her whole page, and I just thought, whoa, like they say it, but they don't really mean it, you know.
No, they're not.
That's what girls do. Their go-to is just putting someone down.
They're not practicing what they're preaching, and I am all for like people being on social media.
She deleted her comment, by the way. I just want to say that.
Yeah, because she knew it was wrong.
I screenshot it. I've got it forever.
What have you got any like bullying stories from when you were younger?
I used to think so. To me, bullying is just being mean, really.
Absolutely.
I can't understand someone going to school or work or anything, and in their mind want to make someone feel bad just for being who they are. I think it's crazy to me.
It's crazy.
So my name is Ruby, and some genius little fella came up with the nickname Puby.
Oh, Puby, Ruby Puby.
I mean, it's pretty good, Ruby Puby. It's a good nickname, I suppose. But I mean, it's not nice to be called that. It's very, it doesn't matter if a nickname is mean. It doesn't matter if a nickname is true. If a nickname is catchy and has a ring to it, and I'm a very reactive person, it sticks. And it stuck through probably from the age of 15 till I was like, fuck school, and left at 17. I mean, boys.
You could have had better nicknames, to be fair.
I remember once going to a party and this fella showed up, and I mean, I thought we were on a friendly basis. And he had a couple beers. He's like, oh, you girls want some beers? And the girl next to me was like, yeah, I'd love a beer. And he chucked me one. He's like, Ruby, you want one? I was like, oh, that'd be great. He's like, get hot then, and put the beer back in the bag.
No, he didn't.
I'm supposed to just play that off cool because I'm Ruby and, you know, blah blah blah, and I kind of shook it off, but that stung, you know.
I mean, okay, no woman.
I'm not even asking nobody for beers, I tell you that.
No woman wants to hear that comment.
Beer. You know, anyway.
Not nice. Oh my god.
No.
Okay. Let me think of what's next. So
well, I've got I can give you another one if you like. That's pretty tragic.
Yes.
So for a couple of weeks at school, and this is when I was about 16, these boys who, I mean, I did not get along with them. We were on a, you know, hey, how's it going? They weren't like my enemies or anything. Started calling me Splinter, and I didn't understand it. I was like, why are they calling me that? Like, what is it? And a couple of weeks later, we found out it was, you remember the rat of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was called Splinter?
Oh, that guy.
So apparently I look like a rat, and then I suppose Splinter was too many syllables for lazy boys, and so in the end it just got shortened to rat, and I just got called Rat for a good couple of years.
You did not have a good run.
I did not have a good run at school, and I'm such a reactive person.
Yeah.
So, you know, if someone calls me something, I'm like, no, fuck you. You know, like I'm reactive.
Yeah.
They like it. They like
bullies love that. They love it when you react. When you don't react, they just go away because they don't. There's nothing to like fuel their fucking fire.
No, I'm a reactive person, and I remember thinking, this is actually, I wouldn't mind doing a test on this. If it was raining before I went to school, I would think, oh no, because for some reason when it's raining and all the kids have to stay inside, I think the bullying is worse because they're so bored.
Because
they're stuck inside, to the point of where I would wake up and it'd be raining.
And then you get anxiety
and
about
it. Oh no.
Yeah.
Because I knew that what was going to happen.
Shit, right? Growing up can be so shit.
Back to my research. I was having a look, you know, about bullying, and it said the rates of bullying in New Zealand are amongst the worst worldwide.
Whoa.
Like that's the whole world. We've got some of the worst bullying rates. It's shameful.
Come on, New Zealand, sort it out.
60% of maths and science students said they were bullied on a monthly basis.
Oh, you're smart, so fuck you.
Yeah, that comes down to I think a jealousy thing. But I remember
absolutely.
you went through. I mean, we've talked about a lot of things because it's still happening now.
I know.
But I remember at school you went through a stage of people were hanging around posters.
Yes. Okay.
That's wasting school property, by the way. Hanging
absolutely.
up printed posters of you all around the school, and I mean, where's the repercussions?
I know.
It's not.
No, I felt so
It's just
unsupported.
come on now.
No one said anything, and so I'll tell you guys the story actually. So I was friends with this group of guys at school. We were really good friends. We had so much fun, and I felt I've got my group of friends, and I was feeling really happy. And all of a sudden, one day, or this is what it felt like anyway, they all turned against me, and they started telling everyone that, oh, Kate looks like a caveman. And obviously, looking back now, I'm like, that makes no fucking logical sense. But at the time, I was like, this is horrible because everyone thinks I'm ugly and gross and hairy like a caveman or something. And then they started putting posters around the school saying, Kate, where is your club, with a picture of a caveman? And so I stopped coming to school because I was mortified that everybody was talking about me in such a negative way.
Caveman.
It was caveman. I was already scarred from primary school and felt like a loser. So I felt even more of a fucking loser. But then the sad thing is that I stopped going to school. They were messaging me don't fucking come back to school. Nobody fucking wants you here. So I listened, and then I started hanging out with these guys who were bear in mind, I'm 14, 15 at the time. Started hanging out with guys that were 23, 24, and I started ditching school, going to drink beer with them during the day. And if you guys are from New Zealand, if you guys are from New Zealand, I was drinking Waikato. Ugh, so disgusting. Yuck. So you can only imagine the types of guys that they were. But this is the really sad part, and I just want to go back and hug my old self and be you do not need to go through this shit. I did not need to go through that shit to learn the lessons that I learned. I really didn't. And so I was hanging around with these guys, and they would treat me like a fucking piece of dirt on their shoe. I was basically their little slave. Yeah.
Can I just say something though? Grown ass men, I think, should not be hanging out with 13, 14-year-old children.
Absolutely not. They're kids.
No.
It's
bordering on
yeah, it's not good. And I see 14-year-olds these days, and I'm they're fucking children.
I know, and they've got their iPhones, and they've got full face of better makeup than I couldn't do. It's now.
Crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy. So they would just tell me to get them a beer. I would go get them a beer. They would spit on me, and they would call me a whore, and then I would have sex with some of them. So obviously, guys, this isn't something that I've ever talked about publicly, but I just want you to know that, and one of the main reasons I'm even doing this podcast is because I want you guys to know the real me, and also to know, because I get a lot of this all the time, it's easy for you, you're so confident, so this, so that. I have been through a lot of shit that was not fucking pleasant, but I want you to know that if you're going through some shit right now and life feels fucking hard, it doesn't actually matter what you're going through right now or where you're at, because you can turn everything around.
Do you know what's funny? I remember once we were out having a drink, and you were getting hit on as usual. And I remember saying, oh God, I wish I was just, remember I said I wish I was just beautiful like you. It must be so nice just being beautiful. And I remember you saying to me, it's actually really not. It's actually really fucking annoying, because you can't just be friends with guys, because they always think that you're, and if you just friend zone them, which you just want to be friends, they always get angry at you, because that's not what they ever wanted, and no one's ever genuine when it comes to friendships. No. But I was still oh, how hard.
Fuck you.
Where. But I remember you saying that, because it's really hard to find genuine friends.
Yeah, it really, definitely. Yeah, and then there's also I've had a lot.
Because I picked that. Do you remember with the caveman story? I said, did one of those men like you?
Yeah.
And it turned out he did, and obviously couldn't have you.
I friend zoned him, and then
which is a terrible term anyway.
I know.
I hate the term friend zone. I've had a friend like that before. And he's like, oh, you friend zoned me. And I was like, my mistake. I thought we were friends.
Yeah. sorry, I actually thought we
Oh,
were. Yeah, it's so true. And
there is something I wanted to touch on about bullying, with it being bred into people from a young age. So I've talked about this before, but my son, when he was younger, he didn't have a father figure around when he was younger, and he was 3 or 4, and he liked to pick me flowers.
So sweet.
So sweet. He'd draw me little pictures and leave me
Aw.
love notes, like I loved it.
Cute.
And I had a friend, and he would be like, oh, that's so gay. He's going to grow up and be gay. And I just remember thinking, A, I don't even care if he is. And B, no, he's just sweet. When he falls over and hurts himself, he gets a cuddle. He doesn't get up and harden the fuck up your pussy. It's a different raising of children.
I know exactly who you're talking about. And like that behavior is just like, it's fucked up to even witness that, especially because it's like,
trying to make
these
you feel
are
ashamed.
children.
Yeah.
Like, who cares if children are, even if they dress like women, like dress like girls or dress like princesses or like give them flowers, like who
when he was
fucking cares?
4, he used to love walking around with my purse because it was so like carried all his rocks.
Yeah.
With his friend being like, oh, aren't you worried he's going to be gay if he carries around a purse? I'm like, well, I really don't think it matters.
So
He's going to be gay or not. I doubt a purse is really going to make much of a difference. Like trying to make me feel ashamed for having a certain type of child. So that's another, I think I felt not bullied but made to feel like I don't care, I want the love notes, give them to me. Didn't really. I just 100%. Ended up cutting when I hit my 30s. I just cut all those kind of people out of my life.
Me too. Actually, I'm 30 now, so I did it like a couple of years ago. But
oh, you're on the ball.
I have very, very few friends in my life, like real friends, but quality over quantity. And
yes,
who you spend your time with is so important for your just like the fulfillment of your life and like how you feel. Like be fucking precious with your energy. Like don't just give that shit away. Like,
I've got people now that are like, I'm having a couple of drinks, do you want to come over? And I say, who's there? And they'll list a couple of people off, and there's people there that I can't stand, and I'm like, I don't want to come. And they say, can't you get over it? No. I don't want to hang out with people that I don't like. That is a waste of my time.
We used to go out all the time, and just like be around people that we just fucking hated.
Here's a funny story. So I remember once me and you were having a good old drink, maybe some other stuff, in my house. We were having a great time. It was such a good time. And this guy showed up that was a little bit obsessed with you. He wasn't invited. He just showed up. He was making us very uncomfortable. Well, I knew him, so I wasn't super uncomfortable, but I was uncomfortable enough to be like, stop trying to fuck my friend.
Yeah.
And I remember you said, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. I was like, okay, whatever. And she went to the bathroom, and it took me a good 25 minutes to realize. I was like, oh my God, she's not coming back. And you just locked yourself in the bathroom and didn't come out.
I felt, okay, I'm just going to be really honest with you guys. I was tripping balls. Me and Ruby were tripping balls, okay? Like, that was intense. And then you guys that have done this before, you'll know what I mean. You're like in this zone together with one of your best friends, and you're like, we were dancing and we were having the time of our lives, and we were like in this like little rave in the downstairs part of the house. And then this guy comes in, and I'm like, not tripping. And when you're tripping and you're around someone that's not tripping, I'm like, this guy is so weird. And I'm like, this is just crazy.
I don't even know if he was being weird, but it felt
but it felt like he was being super weird. And I was like,
he showed up uninvited, first of all.
He did. And I was 100% not fucking interested. And I was like, I just need to go away right now and not come back because I can't cope. So I'm just like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I will be back shortly. No, there is no return.
It took me 25 minutes. I thought, she's not coming back. She's leaving out here. In the end, I just had to be like, oh, fuck off, mate. You got to fuck off. I'm sorry.
You got to go. Yeah. There was this is totally unrelated as well to like what we're talking, like bullying. But do you remember that time? I'm not going to name names, but I was like really obsessed.
We never name names.
No, I was obsessed with this guy.
And I already know straight away who you're talking about, but carry on.
We were on acid again. And
the 20s.
Yeah, and then you were like, I think you made me promise at the beginning that I would stay with you all night, and then I like totally ditched you and I made you walk me to meet him, and I was so
I remember that. In the dark.
And then remember there was like police or something, and we were like freaking out because there was never any police at that time of the night in that little town. So like It was so, and you had a no, you had a, what was
the stick. It's like this, and when you go like that, it comes out to a beating stick.
A
I was
nightstick.
walking it around, no one was fucking with me.
That was terrifying. Anyway.
The scariest thing on those streets.
Anyway, we're so off track here.
We're not off track. We'll talk about what we want.
Yeah, it's great. So another time, okay, this just reminds me of like how stuff's like bred into you. So when I was on Bogans, like I got so much fucking abuse when I was on that show, and one of the comments I got was from a grown ass woman saying even her 6-year-old son takes the piss out of me. Yeah. Okay, that just blows my mind, and I think that is so appalling that you are allowing.
Why are you letting your kid watch Bogans, first of all?
Yeah. First of all, why the fuck are you letting your kid watch Bogans?
At 9:30 at night. Shocking.
Why are you letting your 6-year-old bully grown adults? Like,
people were saying things to you like smash it with a baseball bat.
Yeah, like smash her with a baseball bat will make her look better. People said I was a can. I could open a can with my
Nigel Thornberry. That was my favorite.
Nigel Thornberry smashing it. And it was just really appalling, and I definitely found it really fucking hard. Like, I thought, okay, I was like, I'm going to go on this TV show, everyone's going to love me because everyone loves me, and it's going to be all good. But no, I got so much hate and abuse.
But so much love as well.
But I had a lot of people supporting me and having my back, which is really cool.
I remember when the show finished, there was that guy that tried to bring back Kate Nate Facebook page. It's still available if you want to jump on it.
If you are listening, thank you. I love you. Yeah. That was so cool.
Unsung heroes.
I know. So good.
I know we have to wrap it up soon, but I do just want to mention one quick thing. I remember I was bullied by this girl all through my teenage years at school, and I remember thinking about her not every day, but at least once a week or once a month. I'd be like, oh, I remember that bitch from school, and if I saw her now, I'd think about it at night. I'd have conversations in my head about what she would say.
Make
and I
up
would
all
say,
the scenarios.
Oh no, good sir, you're mistaken. We had anyway. So I came back to where I was from, and I saw her one night at the pub, and I like to think that I'm not the same as I was back in school. So I was like, hey, how's it going? Ready for the confrontation, and she's like, hey, how's it going? I'm good. And she stared at me, and I realized that she didn't even know who I was. And I said, it's me, Ruby.
Yeah.
And she still looked at me blankly. And I went, we went to school together. And
she
went, oh, yeah.
Like, you only bullied me for my school
years. In the class. We were in the same class for years. And she couldn't remember me. And what pissed me off the most was that I had wasted all this time and energy thinking about this person and how they made my life miserable, and they didn't even know who I was.
Yeah, isn't that such a great fucking lesson? Like,
and now she thinks I'm hilarious and we're quite good friends.
Like, if you're listening to this right now and you are doing this as well, and like spending all your time thinking about people that are bullying you, like all people that bully, like they're not thinking about you
at all.
And like, I know it can be hard, easier said than done, but just don't waste any extra time or energy. Like, and you know what I think is really important as well? Like, if you need to fucking cry and you are feeling the feels, like, go and get a tub of ice cream, cry your fucking heart out, babe. Right. Just cry your eyes, watch some shitty TV, get your best friend over, like, feel that shit out and do it. You are so allowed to feel sad and hurt, but don't waste any extra time of your fucking life and extra energy on these people who don't even think about you. Like, you are so much better than that.
My therapy is Bridget Jones and a bottle of red wine. Like, when I'm feeling shit.
Yes.
Bridget Jones' Diary and a bottle. And I don't even drink red wine, but that's my go-to when I'm feeling like shit. I watch that movie with some red wine and a cheese platter.
Oh my God, I love that
with
so much.
With a bit of crying to go with it. That's
Do you know what? I love it. I've actually been having a fucking hard time lately, and I keep thinking to myself, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have a tub of ice cream, and I want to watch Coyote Ugly. Do you remember Coyote Ugly?
Oh, I used to love Coyote Ugly. That made me want to be a bar dancer.
Oh my God, I haven't watched it for so long, and I'm so excited to fucking just like have a night, cry my eyes out, eat a tub of ice cream, and watch fucking Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, that's what they're for. And actually, another good one, just while we're on the topic of movies to watch, is Charlie's Angels.
Yes.
The one with Cameron Diaz, and Drew Barrymore on them.
Absolutely. The OG one.
Movie. Yeah. Well, it's not the OG. Okay.
Oh, no. Okay. I haven't seen any other ones.
Shameful. But it is a good, just can't be bothered with any kind of a plot movie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. Amazing.
So in short, don't bully.
Don't bully. Okay. Don't be mean. Okay, this is something that I will
Don't
never
be
understand.
mean.
I literally like felt like shit for most of my life growing up. Like I
Which is
would
why you
never,
drank.
yeah, exactly. I would never be mean to anybody, like not on purpose. You know what I mean? Like my intention is never to make anyone feel less or feel like shit or not feel like they're being like. I want to celebrate you for being who you are. That is my mission on this earth. Like I just want everyone to feel loved and accepted. Like I fucking love you guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, and also like with bullying, you know, like, oh, it's easy to say, you know, don't do it, but I don't understand the mentality of going out of your way to make somebody else feel bad about themselves for no reason. Does it make you feel? We should try and find a bully and really, you know, talk to them about
and ask them.
I honestly think that's a great idea.
Oh my god, yes.
I've never been a bully.
Do that,
and I just don't understand the mentality.
No, neither. I just don't.
My son was actually just bullied the other day, come home from school early. The teacher brought him home because he was playing sports and he was winning, and the other kids were obviously getting angry that he was beating them, and so they just started being mean and horrible and like bumping into him, and in the end he finished the game because he's, you know, a sportsman. But then he sort of walked off and went, I'm not playing with them anymore. And I was like, fair enough.
Hard out. It's such a jealousy thing. Like jealousy is one of the ugliest emotions, and people act really ugly when they're jealous.
They do.
And I just think it's so important to remember that. Like, I fucking think you guys are all amazing. I fucking believe in you. Like, do not ever doubt yourselves. And if you ever feel like shit and you need someone to talk to, just fucking send me a message. I will reply to you. Like, I try and reply to everyone because
you haven't got a mean bone in your body.
No, I don't think I do.
You don't.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me again. I love chatting with you. Is there anything else you would like to say before we go?
I don't think so. Just don't bully.
Don't bully, guys. Be fucking nice.
Don't be mean. Don't be a dick.
Be a nice human. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us, and I can't wait to talk to you all next week. Bye.